The Hangout on Air is live.
I'm not allowed to argue with you unless you've paid.
All right.
Hold, please.
Yeah.
He'd miss it for a plate of bacon. Is that back bacon or regular bacon?
I don't know.
Takes a lot long. Okay.
All
I
right.
can go live anytime. Wow, that's really hot. Hang on. Let me turn that down. You guys speak a moment?
I don't want to speak.
Check, 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 check. I'm speaking and I'm saying check.
Okay, that sounds good.
Lithuanian.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let me know when you're ready.
I am going
Tuesday.
I'm going to start the recorder. Beep. And one more beep. There we go. It is actually digitally recording. And I'm going to queue up some music. But first I have to type in my password. All right. Now I'm going to queue up some music. All right. Everybody ready? Let's start a podcast.
Why not? Oh, yes, and welcome one and all to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. Tonight we're talking about caches and cachers unique to this little corner of the country. So grab your virtual bag of souvenirs. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
And we can't do that without bringing in our modern monkey. Some say he's lying in the rain, and others say he never waves bye-bye. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Yes, indeed. But he gets me to the church on time.
That's right.
So that's me. That's the Land Monkey. And thanks, listeners, and welcome to our show. All right. What's end?
That's it. Let's sign off. We're good. No.
Okay.
Well, you know, we like to have a little fun with our introductions, and you may recognize some of the key words in that introduction for Land Monkey from, well, an 80s song, because we're all children of the 80s, aren't we? And you know, this year, why, it's America's, United States, 240th birthday. So, the simple math that we like to do is you take that 80s lyrics, you take that 80 and you multiply it by 3 for the next 3 weeks, and you come up with 240, and it's really stretching the numbers, but that's how we came up with the contest for this year. And I'm sure there's a hashtag in there somewhere. So, if you can figure out what 80s song we used to introduce the Land Monkey for this week, next week, and the week after, that would be 3. Ooh, can we do a 3 hashtag? That's not an octothorpe. That's way above that.
Well, it's 9 lines.
Yeah. 6 lines. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch.
Moving right along.
Our research department will figure that out. So let us know what you used, and we can send it to feedback@cachingandw.com or use that voicemail tool phone number. Any of those crazy methods that you know, and if you don't know why, we'll repeat them later. But before we get going with the rest of this podcast, well, you know, we have to start glowing.
That's right, and we call this segment, as we call this segment every week, since we've started it, it is called Glow, or Geocaching Log of the Week. So whether it is yours or not, we want to hear your geocaching log of the week. Send us an email to feedback@cachingandw.com. I've heard that somewhere before. Or call into 253-693-TFTC, or use the voicemail tool on the website. Any of those ways to communicate with us. Heck, use Twitter, use Facebook, use, I don't know, just talk to us. We're really lonely.
Yes. Somebody talk to us, please.
And share with us your glow. Share with us a very cool or interesting or macabre geocache log that somebody has sent to one of your caches or that you've written and that you think is worth sharing, and share that with us. And this week, Wits End, who has provided our geocaching log of the week?
Why, this week's contribution to the Glow comes from friends of the podcast and owners of the original Clubby, Buddy and Kitsy Meow. And they sent a log for GC4YGCF, which makes a really fun acronym that I can't come up with on the fly. It's called SPIKE. And they said, the log reads, "We walked right up to this cache, and I placed my hand where I would expect it to be, and I didn't feel a thing. So we looked around a bit without any success." I've been that. We then came back to the first spot I had previously checked and looked again, and there it was. I've done that too. Now, while it's possible I may have missed it the first time, it's also possible that a micro wormhole has formed near the cache, and it periodically travels to another location in the space-time continuum, which is probably what happened when I first reached for it. Thanks for the cool cache crystal cryptor and for the multi-dimensional smiley. You don't get that every day. And like I said, the log was from Buddy and Kitsy Meow, so thanks for that contribution.
That was awesome. That's great.
Nice. Now, I found that cache, and I believe I walked right up to where I thought it would be, didn't see it, looked around, and did the same thing. So I'm definite that there's a micro wormhole there.
All right.
Clearly, that's Occam's razor. That's the most logical explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you get a multi-dimensional souvenir when you find that one?
Yes, of
You
course.
do, but it doesn't appear in this dimension.
Oh, sure, of course not. No.
All right. Something to talk to Rock Chalk about when we see him on the weekend. All right. Well, folks, hey, how was the past week in geocaching, or just general outdoors recreation for those of us who are in more outdoors oriented environments?
I did some outdoor recreation, and I did some geocaching this week. So
Do tell.
I did a couple of geocaches. Since we're talking about the 80s, do either of you remember the TV show Fantasy Island?
No.
Yes.
Ricardo Montalban.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Yes, I was going to say he always sold the fine Corinthian leather. That in the beginning of that show, there's a picture of a waterfall. Well, that is just a few miles from me, right where I am now. So, of course, there's an earth cache there, and it talks about the different types of rock, as earth caches are prone to do. But I was shocked in how easy it was to get to the site. There's a parking lot right there. You walk back 100 feet and you stare at the waterfall. I expected a little bit of a hike. If you wanted to go down to the pool of the waterfall, that was quite the little hike. We
Nice.
opted not to do that. We were new in the area, and we thought, what a way to ruin our vacation by hurting ourselves going down to a pool of a waterfall.
So that's the difference between you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just went.
You had to go jump the guardrail and ignore the signs that says, don't go down this trail.
And?
And then you get to the base of the water.
I'm betting at least half the people in the Q&A would have jumped that guardrail in a heartbeat.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Well, I wasn't one of them.
There you go. Yet you're the bad cop.
Yeah, who knew?
Go figure.
Just today, we were snorkeling with green sea turtles. So that's pretty outdoorsy, though it's under the water. Is that considered outdoorsy?
Well, unless it's a bathtub, yes.
Well, they were stickers at the bottom of the bathtub. Oh, no. They were live.
That is very cool. Did you take any photos?
I did not.
Oh.
I didn't. I have relatively a new phone, and I haven't found a decent waterproof case that I'm willing to pay for yet. You know what that means, right? They're expensive, $70, $80. I'm like, oh, that's all. And so I wasn't about to take my nice phone, even in the multi-Ziploc baggie. I've got a waterproof bag with 3 Ziplocs, and you roll it down and snap it shut.
Right.
Yeah, that was inexpensive, and it's great for keeping it out of the rain and sand. It's not what I'm going to trust with my expensive phone underwater on vacation. I'm sure there's half the people in the Q&A would have done that. I'm not one of them.
There you go. Well, hey, speaking of Fantasy Island, it just popped up in the Q&A, and I should know some of these folks' caching names, so I'm going to apologize, Jim Stark, that I don't know your caching name. But he does write in the Q&A, oh, where did it go? Hold on.
Yeah, see, that happens to me.
Yeah, 3
There
weeks
it is.
ago.
Got it. Coincidentally, I released a geocache 3 weeks ago called Bridge to Fantasy Island, and it's GC6KR3H, if anybody's interested in checking that out. So, thanks.
Great.
Is it on the island of Kauai by chance?
That would be cool.
Yeah. If it is, I'll go find it.
There you go. Well, what else have you been up to, Bad Cop? How's the sunburn? You managed to avoid any of that?
It's been great so far. I do have to admit we ran out of sunblock today. As we're spraying it on, going, I think this is running low. And in my snorkeling, so my the back of my calves are slightly pink, but they're not burned. But I can feel that, I knew I should have found something else to put on there.
So first thing tomorrow morning, we'll be buying sunscreen.
We have more.
Okay.
It's in the car. It's our emergency sunscreen we put in the car just in case we go out and go, this would be fun to do, sunscreen.
I'll have you know the bridge to Fantasy Island is just outside Toledo, Ohio, a place you've been.
Oh, yes, I have been. And I've been in Toledo, Ohio. There's not much fantasy there.
So there you go.
There you go.
It's
All right.
near what? Highway 23 and 475? Does that make...
I know 475.
It's near the Camp Miaconda Erie Shores Council Boy Scout Camp.
Oh, yeah. No, not a clue.
Oh, there. Hey, so anything else, any other adventures in Hawaii you want to share with us, Bad Cop, before we switch over to Wits End?
Well, this is about caching in the Northwest, so I don't want to totally take over the show with the caching.
Aren't you on a Northwest island of the Hawaii?
Yes, I'm on one of the most Northwest islands. There, thank you. I feel fine now. I'll tell you, and everybody knows this. Anybody who's been caching knows that geocaching takes you to some fantastic spots that you would not find otherwise. So I went out and found 3 caches. They're very close to each other. The middle one is at Anini Beach here. It's East Anini is the name of it.
I was going to say, what kind of beach is it? It's
Anini.
It's Anini?
It's Anini Beach. Apparently, there was a typhoon in 90 or 82 that came through. It used to be Wanini Beach, and it knocked the W off of the sign, and they've called it Anini ever since. That's what it says in the listing. I'm not exactly sure, but I thought, that's very plausible. Anyway, I went out there, and it was about this time, about 6 o'clock local time. The sun was getting low but hadn't set yet, and I thought, this is a spectacular spot to come and watch the sunset. So I took my wife out there the very next day, and we watched the sunset, and it's spectacular. It's Hawaii. All sunsets are spectacular.
They're real and they're spectacular.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there's a pair of them. You got the sunrise, the sunset. They're real and spectacular. There was a gentleman waiting for people to come, and he says, no, we're not the people. And we looked around, and he had a tent set up with a very nice formal dinner setting on it, dining setting, white linen glasses and the silver and the whole bit. And we look at that and go, wow, he's going to propose to somebody, isn't he? That's what we figured. He's standing there waiting for someone. And then a couple comes up, and then I realized, wait a minute, he's doing this as a business. Even so, I went, hey, do you have a card? We've come on our 25th wedding anniversary. He says, I don't have a card, but here's my information. So we may have a dinner on that beach as well. Who knows?
Very nice. That would be very cool. And again, we have from the Q&A a request for you to hang up and go hang with your wife instead, since, as you just mentioned, this is your 25th anniversary. So hopefully you'll hang out with us a little bit longer. But but before you go, definitely from Wits End and myself, and I'm sure many of our listeners, happy anniversary. We hope you guys are really enjoying your trip there.
Well, thank you. Yes, we are. And, yes, this is our anniversary. We've had a great time. In fact, with the snorkeling we did this morning, we're both a bit tired, so we weren't going to plan much tonight anyway. But I feel like I need to be here. I like you guys.
But he doesn't trust us.
Why on earth not? mean, everything went so smoothly before the beginning of the show.
That pretty much, that's it. No, that's not it. But I like being here as well. Okay,
Awesome.
so Wits End, did you do anything? Yeah, after all that, did you do anything?
Talk about a tough act to follow.
Yeah, no
Let's
kidding.
see. Outdoors. I did get outdoors today. I walked all the way from my car into Walmart.
Wow.
It was a stretch.
Did you find like 6 Munsies on the lampposts?
6 homeless people in the parking lot, but
Oh, okay.
I didn't
Did you
scan them.
scan them?
No. And then my
Did you check them
geocaching activities this week involved. I signed on to this podcast.
It's progress.
There you go.
Oh, dear.
There's nothing wrong with that. I've had weeks like that.
There's lots wrong with that. What is wrong with you? I'm the poster child for what's wrong with this.
Well, you are covering for me at work, so it's hard when, it's a 2-person job and there's only 1 person to do it. I mean, that's how it normally is.
Yeah, and just so you know, that box of ice cream sandwiches I bought today at Walmart are going to be gone before you get back. Just saying.
I'll buy some more.
Oh, that's awesome.
You bought ice cream sandwiches without me?
Yes?
Yep.
Enjoy them.
Didn't even
Yes.
hesitate.
And it is true, as mentioned in the Q&A, Wits End is keeping up the fine tradition of geocaching podcasters not geocaching.
Yes. You guys are the freaks.
Yeah, I was going to say, however, to completely break the stereotype. Yeah. So, sorry.
Land
Wits End.
Monkey?
Well, I didn't want to cut Wits End off if there was more to the story there. It sounded like there was so much more.
No, that's pretty much it. Walmart and podcast.
Awesome. Well, we've actually slowed down a little bit after our July long weekend 3-day cache-a-thon on the Farm Rock Trail in the Okanagan. I think we found over 200 caches over the long weekend. So, yeah.
Did you find them all? Are there any caches left? You have?
We found most of them on the Farm Rock Trail. We did actually have a few DNFs, but that was a lot of fun. And that was a very enjoyable time away for Mrs. Land Monkey and I. And there's been a few small caching visits here and there, but most notably, we also finished a great local geocache series themed on the Spiderwick books. That was a lot of fun to get that one wrapped up. But mostly, I would say we're actually excited about something coming, and that would be this weekend. And I see Dora Moore's in the Q&A already needling me. It is this Saturday is the 3rd annual Metrovan Geocachers Summer Games, and it is the Gadget Games this year. We're very excited. GC 6G DH9. It is in South Langley, and there's, as I understand it, there's commitment from at least one lackey that they're going to be there. Rock Chalk has promised to be there, so we're really looking forward to that. And there is a challenge that went out this week. The Land Monkeys were challenged to race Dora Moore and Nankikoro. So we'll see how that's going to turn out.
What kind of race?
Well, as I understand it, it is some sort of
milk carton on the feet?
No, not milk carton on the feet. It is some sort of vehicle. So we really don't know what we're signed up for here, but I was told I needed a co-pilot and that I needed to be fast. That's all the information I had. So I initially suggested that maybe Piggy would be my co-pilot. It's an FTF boxcar race. There we go.
Oh, FTF boxcar.
Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I will make sure that one way or another we periscope that particular event from that.
Yes. Did you see recently periscopes are now being saved? They are, for long-term reviewing. It's not just 24 hours anymore.
Yeah, and so therefore, that's probably a great topic for another show, but that actually changes the way that I periscope, because I was not too worried about spoiling caches previously, knowing that they would only be around 24 hours, but now that they're not, that sort of changes my approach. But anyways.
Interesting. So another social media for NorthWest cachers coming up, I see.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bad Cop, why don't we move into not only our big news story for the night, but also the theme for tonight's discussion?
Yes. So, as most of you know, an email went out this week from gc.com headquarters, and it was somewhat mysterious. It starts off, "Good morning, geocacher. Recently, intelligence agents at GCHQ 47 intercepted a series of encoded messages from a highly classified source. We believe these messages include detailed instructions for securing 3 new geocaching souvenirs. However, our analysts have been unable to decipher their meaning. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, involves decoding these messages and securing these souvenirs for your geocaching profile. Fair warning, this isn't mission difficult. It's mission GC." I like that. New intel suggests that souvenirs will only be available for procurement on the following dates. The window for securing souvenir number 1 is July 30th and 31st, 2016. Souvenir 2, August 13th and 14th, and Souvenir 3, August 27th and 28th. Given the top secret nature of this mission, the encoded messages will be sent for analysis only to those with proper security clearance. Premium members will receive an email including the encoded message 1 week prior to the souvenir release. Decoding the message will unlock the instructions for securing the next souvenir. The first encoded message will be sent to premium members on July 22nd, 2016. Instructions for unlocking the souvenirs will be made available to members of all security levels on the morning of each souvenir release. This information will be posted on all major GCHQ 47 channels. That's geocaching.com, the Geocaching app, Facebook, and Twitter. As always, should you or any member of your team be caught by muggles, GCHQ 47 will disavow all knowledge of your actions. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Well, I guess we better hurry up and finish the show.
Apparently, Rock Chalk lost a laptop over that message. I don't know what happened.
Darn it all. So there you go, cachers. Now we kind of know what the summer 2016 geocaching souvenirs will be about. There's also, the other thing I thought about while you were reading that is there's also the duck race that's going to overlap, but we can talk about that later. So
you quack me up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I was rolling a few pun options in my head, and they were starting to go south. So, what
do all of you think about this? Not only the host here, anybody in the Q&A, and anybody listening, go ahead and send your thoughts about it through any of our social media channels or through email. Go ahead and call into the phone lines. It's 253-693-TFTC, or use the voicemail tool on the website. Tell us what you think all this means.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very curious to hear what the deal is with that, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun just even deliberating a little bit in advance about what that could actually be.
Yeah, we can always talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
We can make up all kind of wild ideas that may not come true, but hey, it's fun to chat about it. We do know that there's, 3 souvenirs. That's 3. We could almost make another Dodecathorpe hashtag out of 3s.
Dodecathorpe.
That's 1 per weekend, and some sort of encrypted or coded message a week in advance of each to tell you how to earn that souvenir.
I do like one of the weekends is my birthday weekend. I think they did that just for me.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to guess that it's not much of a stretch, but it's going to be some sort of cipher, perhaps. With those.
That would fit the theme, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they said it's not going to be super difficult, but it could be kind of fun. Now, one thing I noticed when I saw the blog posting and the image, I liked it. I thought I liked the cool image, and it actually kind of reminded me a little bit of. I don't know if you guys have heard of Archer.
Mm-hmm.
The animated series. I've only watched like a quarter of an episode once, so I haven't seen much. But the animation reminded me, or their their logo reminded me of that for some reason. I guess the whole spy thing and everything. Anyways, that all said, I am in no way implying that they ripped it off. I was wondering if anybody noticed the superimposed image on the Mission GC logo. There's a triangle, kind of like on the reverse of the American dollar bill.
Mm-hmm.
There's a triangle there, and it has an HQ.
Intel on the bottom, I think.
Yeah, and it says HQ47. Maybe some sort of key for deciphering the messages.
Yeah. 47? That's odd, you know.
Yes, it is.
An odd number, that's all. I mean, 42, of course, is the ultimate answer, as we know from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so maybe 42 plus 5. But that doesn't make anything for 3 souvenirs. We could theorize about 47 a while. I don't know. You know, did you know 47 is the 15th prime number? It's a safe prime, the 13th super singular prime, and the 6th Lucas prime. Just saying.
George Lucas prime?
47 is a highly cototient number. It's an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n minus 1.
Well, there's your 3.
There's the 3.
But it has no real part in 3n minus 1.
Well, this is a virtual podcast, so.
There you go.
47 is the atomic number of silver, though. Maybe it's a silver souvenir.
Hi-ho.
It's also the atomic mass of one of the naturally occurring stable isotopes of titanium. I'd like a titanium souvenir, please. It's the telephone dialing country code for Norway.
So maybe that's the key, is we have to phone people in Norway.
If you'd like to send Wits End to Norway, call 253-693-TFTC. It's not Australia, but hey, I'll go there anyway.
One-way tickets, please.
Yeah, one way. There's also the CH-47 Chinook helicopter. Maybe we could all go for a ride. Maybe they'll take all of us up and host the podcast from a CH-47 Chinook.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
The Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, why, they're located 47 degrees apart. And, of course, there's that P-47 Thunderbolt fighter plane from World War II.
I always loved that one. That's a classic.
And, you know, I think this is the kicker right here. There were 47 chimneys built on the Hobbiton set for Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I think we should all fly right now to the set of Hobbiton, New Zealand, and start dismantling all 47 chimneys in the search for geocaching souvenirs.
Well, it would be in 3 of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's funny. Hey, as you were going there, we did get some feedback in the Q&A. There's a little bit of some other thoughts on the number 47. Limax said, is Seattle at North 47? And Brylang came back with the geocaching blog used to be known as Latitude 47. And that is because I believe Limax is correct.
Yes. Well, you know, GCHQ is located at Latitude 47 North. You think that could be it?
Could be.
I'm going with a Hobbiton set.
Anything?
Send me to New Zealand.
Okay, if we have to. We'll do it.
What else have we got? Limax says 47 is the number he has on his whiteboard at work. So Geocaching HQ has been in your office at work.
That's right.
He must have been periscoping, and that's how come they know.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent. I saw something else in the Q&A here that made me laugh. Where was it? Here it is. It's from Brylang. And what is funny, and I think Brylang is probably pointing out part of the geocaching, or the, what I can't even remember what it's called now, the Mission
GC?
Mission GC, thank you. The Mission GC logo, and he made the comment, sharks with lasers. And that was one of the first things I noticed with the logo, is that there's a shark with it. Well, I think I can't tell if it's a laser or a widespread sonar, or I'm not sure what that's supposed to be on his
Sharks
head.
with lasers. Isn't that, I lost it. The British spy.
Who shagged me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, not me personally. That's just the name of the movie. I just want to point this out.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I think this is important.
Otherwise, this was going to be an awkward conversation.
Didn't need that.
More awkward than usual, yes. All right. Yes. So that is where it is. Brian Lang also Austin Powers. There you go. Brian Lang also points out that there is also a souvenir if you participate in the duck race, which is true.
Oh, nice. So,
oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm wondering, as GCHQ has done for the last several sets of souvenirs, if you collect all three, will there be a fourth souvenir? Saying that you've completed all three.
I do not know.
And a seventh for 47.
Oh.
No, never mind.
Wow. All right. So where do we get to? Sorry, I messed up my show notes because I was scrolling back and forth in here. Okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah, we've got all kinds of talking here going on in the Q&A. This is great. It's a lot of work keeping up with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, the Q&A's busy, isn't it?
It's awesome. All right, so yes, we had Austin Powers. Thank you very much. Delete.
Well, there's a fourth souvenir because August 20th, in the middle of all that, is International Geocaching Day.
Yes, that's right. So actually, that makes 5 souvenirs because there's 3 for.
Right.
There's 3 for this Mission GC. There's a 4th for the duck race.
There you go.
And then a 5th would be for the. Unless the duck race is the same. No, the duck race is not the same as the International Geocaching Day. So those are 2 different souvenirs.
Did anybody get their ducks in a row?
I have one, and I have to actually shout out and thank Sprouter, who bought a pack of ducks and handed one of them to me at the Tri-Cities geocaching event.
Nice.
He
well,
bought
thank
them
you,
from
Sprouter.
Yeah, so I've already
You
created
can say
this
whatever
one.
you want. We're more than 12 minutes into the podcast.
Yeah,
Sprouter
you can
isn't
roll over
listening
now.
anymore.
Ding! Yeah, we forgot to ring the bell. Haven't done that for a while. All right, but yeah, so thank you, Sprouter, and once the kickoff date hits, I will be dropping that into play.
When is the kickoff date for that? Do you know by chance?
It's on the 47th of the month.
Okay.
Oh, that's why. Now it all comes together.
Right.
I believe it is the end of July.
Nice. And do we all know what the ducks represent?
Yes.
Do you know the history of geocaching and ducks?
Why don't you share it with us, Bad Cop?
Well,
just
here's
in case our listeners haven't.
Just in an abridged version. The first trackable sent out by Jeremy Irish himself was a little rubber ducky. So that's always, said is the first real trackable. It had a TB tag and had a TB number, and it was associated with it. So I believe it was Devil Duck. He sent out a duck with each of the 7 deadly sins. So the first one was a duck. There you go.
Okay.
And to celebrate 16 years? Maybe it's 15 years of trackables now. When you've done it within the first year of geocaching.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have some feedback from 3 Hams and a Rose, who has an interesting question that I'm not sure I understand. He asks if he can get a souvenir for not bothering to get the other 5 souvenirs. So I would wonder why you would want a souvenir if you don't want the other souvenirs.
Can you get it's kind of a DNF, but it's a DNS, did not souvenir.
Oh, there you go.
DNC, did not care.
Did not care. Yeah, I don't think it's the same.
Oh, and we have a correction from Die Monkey. Thank you, Die Monkey, the maker of wonderful cupcakes, who says that the Duck Dash starts on July 20th. So I missed I was off there a little bit with the start date. So
less than a week away from the recording of this podcast.
There you go. So by the time this podcast has been uploaded to the feed, the Duck Dash will be over. And
I am on vacation. Things aren't getting fed to the feed.
Just teasing you, Bad Cop. Just teasing you. All right.
Fine. I'm going to post this one tonight.
Just to spite you.
Yeah.
He's got 3 extra hours there to post.
And the
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're all over it. Limax does say that he is going to get himself a duck. In the words of one of my favorite musicians, I want a new duck.
You've got a new duck. We want a new duck.
There you go. What else have we got going on here? You need to register the duck by the 17th, says our good friend in Geocache. That would be Gary.
Nice.
Right. From the Slinky Monkey Show. All right.
Yes, you're all over the interwebs these days, Mr. Monkey.
That was fun. Did you notice who was on with me?
I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, to be honest.
Mrs. Land Monkey joined me for the Slinky Monkey show.
Okay,
Nice.
so now I'm offended.
That's what I said. I promised her you would be.
Mrs. Land Monkey has been on every other podcast except this one. You say she was on.
She was on the 100th episode.
But
She was, technically.
not speaking. So, yeah, I'm offended. That's it. I've banished her.
You know the common thread to all those, don't you?
Me?
I'm on this podcast.
Somehow I don't think that's what it is. But...
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it at all, actually.
Oh my goodness! All right, so yeah, we got Brylang still talking on the theme of the 7 deadly ducks. Brylang says the ducks represent the 7 deadly sins. Jeremy Irish hid several deadly ducks back at the start of geocaching. One was hidden in a never published cache. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
There is a cache. I think it's in North Carolina or somewhere on the
I want to say
east of the U.S.
Philadelphia.
Is it? Okay. I knew it was somewhere in the eastern U.S. There's a cache that apparently has one of the ducks in it, and it's just...
That was, yeah. So
No one's
it's
ever
possible
found
to go out and find that.
It is. You'd think it would have been found by now, but I guess it depends how rural it is.
Exactly.
That is very cool. What else have we got going on? We have Dora Morris says that there is a ginormous rubber duck used to advertise a place that sells hot tubs in Delta, British Columbia. She is sorely tempted to acquire it for the race. You may have trouble fitting in a cache, but you know what?
We found travel bugs that didn't fit into a cache.
Yeah, we did.
Remember the
what did
large icy bear?
Yeah.
What did we ever do with Icy? No, we just left Icy Bear there.
We left Icy Bear.
Yeah, we weren't
what are you
gonna
going to do with a 6-foot tall plastic cutout of a bear that advertises frozen drinks?
I forgot about Icy
And
Bear.
I look at that and I go, "Are you kidding me?" He does roll up, somewhat small, but
Smaller than the ironing board we found.
that's true. that was given to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Found with air quotes.
Yeah.
Yes,
found on
exactly.
the hood of our car, I think it was.
I still blame Sprouter for that one.
Limax says he needs to go back and watch episode number 100. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. You got to watch that one. Listening to it is good, but watching it is much better.
Yeah.
It was kind of all about the watching on that episode, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Where our Christmas one, that was definitely a listening episode.
I don't think you can watch that one.
I believe you're right.
Because we just did that audio only. As a special gift for you all. All right. What else have we got going on here? Wet Coaster says, "Oh no, the Illuminati," and I think he's making reference to the triangle in the,
Yes. Yeah, I
the
think
logo.
so.
And the number 47, right?
And the number 47, clearly.
Of course.
What else have we got going on?
You asked about Jim Stark's caching name. It is Star Cacher.
Ah, there you go. Thank you very much. Where is that? There is a lot in here.
Yeah, we've got some great listeners out there.
Yes, we do. And the Q&A can be a bit overwhelming. I'm working from a laptop. I don't quite have the same screen real estate, so it's hard for me to see show notes and video and Q&A. So I'm letting Land Monkey manage that tonight. And
Yeah, because I'm too lazy to take on the task.
And I've got a big monitor, and I've got them for everything. There's just a lot of content in the Q&A tonight, and we're not complaining. Thank you.
no, not at all. We thank you all.
Wet Coaster has a question for you, Bad Cop. I think it's for Bad Cop. I'm not sure. Anyways, speaking of large trackables, whatever happened to the 10-pin bowling ball trackable?
10-pin bowling ball. I
I'm
don't
not sure I'm familiar with that
know.
one.
I've heard of the pin. Is he looking just for the bowling pin, or is there a pin and a bowling ball associated?
Why are you asking me? How would I know that?
Well, I'm asking him. You just happen to be there.
You're facilitating.
Yeah, I've seen it
I
at
would,
an event.
the way he wrote it, I would say it's a ball, not a pin. But I have heard of a bowling ball. I don't know its size. I can imagine 10-pin trackable that was on Vancouver Island. But I have no idea where.
I can't remember what event, but I saw some huge trackables. You've heard of the cinder block?
Yes.
Yeah. Car door.
Yeah.
Saw the car door at Block
Yeah.
Party.
And beyond that, I mean, you've got the 4x8 sheet of plywood travel bug.
Yeah. There's a trackable ping pong table over at Cash Advance.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
a tough
true.
one to move.
And they have their giant ammo can there, the
Yeah.
giant plywood one you can walk inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, some of these were made specifically. It's just when you take a large, heavy object and you turn it into a trackable, that's when you cross the line.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got going on here? Briarling says you can get a souvenir for not getting the souvenirs by playing Pokemon Go instead. So I guess he means Pokemon Go souvenirs.
Hmm.
But
Or
we're not talking about Pokemon Go tonight.
Pogo,
so
as
delete.
people are referring to it. Oh,
right.
Well, okay.
No,
I,
no. We're not talking about Pokemon Go.
I'm bringing it around. Give me a chance. Okay. I was chatting with Chris Ronan on Geo Gearheads earlier today. Oh, we've lost Land Monkey. And he says in this last week there have been so many requests for interviews at GCHQ. It could be GCHQ 47 for all we know. It could have been 47 asks for interviews because of this other game that Land Monkey will not talk about. It's odd that some people refer to geocaching as the grandfather of this other game. Like, no.
How many grandfathers do you know that are 15 years old?
Oh.
There's
I think
something
that happens in the
about
Ozarks.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting that
Well-
many people are putting a geocaching spin on this because you're going out to places
Yeah.
and finding things.
Well, and it's geolocation based to some degree. Geocaching is the oldest of the. No, I guess no, it's not the oldest. Letterboxing is the oldest of the geolocation games, and orienteering may even be older than that. The original orienteering.
Not getting lost in the woods, you mean?
Well, compass and map.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
That's not getting lost in the woods. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the objective of many of these games. Maybe not the prime objective.
Out of the hide and seek type games, letterboxing is clearly the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
APRS bunny hunts are back there too.
Oh, are they?
They've been doing those for years. Yeah.
See, they could have done that in the 40s. And how long has ham radio been around?
100 years.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe that's the grandfather of Pogo.
It could be. But I see there's a few comments about that game that I don't want to talk about coming up in the Q&A, so I'm deleting them. Just so you folks know how this works.
Power
when the
has gone
monkey's
to
in
Land
charge.
Monkey's head.
I just go through here and I go, nope, not talking about that one. Delete. There you go. So if you see your comment, just delete out of the Q&A because you wrote something about that game I don't want to talk about tonight. That's why. Come back another night and talk about that. Tonight, we're talking
Maybe a
about
night that-
geocaching.
That Land Monkey's not on the podcast.
Brylang does say that orienteering started in 1886 and letterboxing in 1854.
Wow.
Ooh,
There you go.
1854.
Our-
Holy cow.
Our caching in the NorthWest Research Department.
Yes,
and Caching in the
exactly.
Northwest started in 1892?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue towards the northwest. He
There you
was
go.
heading northwest.
Oh, I thought it was a little later than that. It was around the time Captain George Vancouver was circumnavigating the area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure.
It's about the time I was born.
Or Lewis and Clark, the original geocachers. Well, I guess Lewis and Clark came afterwards to try and find the
Mhm.
geocachers that Cook and Vancouver had left.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now I get it.
Okay.
That was the whole reason for the Lewis and Clark expedition. It was
that
actually
explains it.
Yeah, yeah,
FTF,
yeah, and we're saying the original stash. Phooey on that.
the original stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't want that can of baked beans. I'll tell you that much.
No, oh boy. Well, they took a bit of bacon and took a bit of beans. Went with Colonel Jackson down the mighty New Orleans. That's a different story.
That's different.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, aren't dinosaurs kind of the original geocache?
Sure.
No, looking
We
for
find
oil.
them at the gas pumps now.
Yes, exactly.
There you go. Well, that was actually kind of cool. Thank you, Brylang, for giving us those dates. That's some really cool history there.
He may have made them up off the cuff, but they sound official.
We're accepting them as official, so that's
And
it.
you know, we've
It's on
said
the
them on the
research
internet, so it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, real now. Limac says he saw a laptop at an event last year during the geocaching road trip. I think he means a trackable laptop, since we were talking about large and unusual trackable items.
And some of those early laptops, they were large.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the ones that were actually like a full-on, the big, huge PCs, and the front would flip up?
Luggable.
And
the compact
luggable. Thank you. Yes.
Compact and Commodore.
Commodore
made some of those,
64.
the SX64, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, what protected the screen was actually the keyboard.
Huh.
You pull that
Crazy.
off, and there, you know, and it had a CRT in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yep. I totally remember those. I've actually worked with those years and years ago. Wet Coaster says, speaking on the bowling ball, he says, it was a bowling ball. I saw it at Graffinator's Poker Run event a couple of years ago. So that would have been like
25 years ago.
2012, 2013, somewhere in there. Anyways, I remember when that event was. I didn't participate, but I remember.
So
when it
yeah,
was.
I've not heard of that. Should we do a show in the near future on unusual large trackables?
Yeah, let's
Or
do
have
that.
we just done that?
No, but we definitely should. We definitely
So
should.
that's something we'll need from our audience members. If you've seen or you own an unusually large trackable,
Or if you are currently stuck with and need to hand off.
there you go. We won't take it from you, but we want to hear about it.
That's right.
If you need to drop it off somewhere, take it to the Cache Cave. That's
There you go.
cache-advance.com. Head over there
Wow.
and drop off.
Lisa will never be on the show again.
Former friend of the show, Lisa, will gladly.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. Well, I think we've probably exhausted the topic for tonight, and we can certainly move into
The close of the show.
the close of the show, and then subsequently.
The after show.
Oh, it didn't work.
Didn't work. Here you go. Hang on. Wrong knob. The after show.
Right knob.
Well, let's start off with this. Land Monkey, where
Yeah.
can people find you should they want to know more?
Should they be so brave as to want to know more about the Land Monkeys, landmonkey.blogspot.ca, or Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at the Land Monkey GC, and on Facebook we're Team Land Monkey, and of course always on YouTube. And we're really encouraging people to come and find us on YouTube. Just search Land Monkey on YouTube, you will find us. How about you, my friend, Wits End?
Facebook, Wits End. Twitter, Wits End. Geocaching, Wits End. Wits End, pretty much Wits End. So,
And a mailing address for those large trackables?
yeah, that would be the island of Kauai. Send them to Ricardo Montalban, care of Hervé Villaches, via de plane. And you, Bad Cop, how about you?
Oh, airmail you're referring to. That was well done. Look for me on Twitter, Facebook, as Caching NW, Google+. I like saying google.com/plus, Caching NW. If you need any of these addresses, head on over to cachingnw.com/hosts, and you'll find everything you need there, except large trackables.
There you go. All right, well, folks, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen once again to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Remember that, as we have promised you, you can be indeed a part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask a question, or clue us in on your favorite encryption method any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Also, your support helps to keep quality shows coming. So if you would like one day to see a quality show, please click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. The show is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2016 by Chris Umfenauer. And of course, remember, if you're watching live or later on YouTube, to stay tuned for
The After Show.
Fade to Black. I've stopped recording. It's now the after show. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
All right. Great show, you guys. Chris, how you hanging out there in Hawaii? How's it going? I can't hear you.
It's really quiet in Hawaii.
Well, for some reason, I turned down the microphone. Perhaps I had
you.
gas and I didn't want to share it. I don't know.
It was the best part of the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really nice out here. Of course, the weather. It's a little warm and muggy. It's around 87 degrees, 87% humidity, something like that. But if you spend it in the water or you spend it in air conditioning, it's very nice. Even walking around, it's not bad. We've covered so many things, seen so many things so far. Tomorrow we're looking to go to the Spouting Horn, I believe it is. That would be on the southwest edge of the island.
That's different than the Horny Spout. Just make sure you get those two straightened out.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure there's another one just like that here. Yeah.
And there goes the family rating for tonight. All right.
Hey,
Although I think I blew
it's
it.
the after show.
That's right. That's true. We are no longer recording audio, so I guess anything goes.
Yeah, we're still on the internet. People on YouTube can still watch us.
Yeah,
That
there's
is
nothing,
true.
There's nothing profane or objectionable on the internet, so we're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's true. So, looking at the Q&A, there's a couple of folks in the Q&A who noted that the first weekend they're going to of the mission
Yeah. those three
GC thing,
things.
that they're going to have some challenges with other events. What did I have here? Wet Coaster says that he's going to be at the Symphony of Fire, which is a big fireworks festival in downtown.
I was going to say, I don't know what that is, but I want to go.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Fire.
It's a huge deal. So it's an international fireworks competition. I think either 4 or 5 countries are invited to participate. And the fireworks display they put on is synchronized to music, and it's usually a lot of fun. But it is a huge crowd. What else did we have? I thought somebody else had something in there.
There was something about a baseball game.
Yeah. Where is that? Oh. Maybe I accidentally deleted it in
You
my
may have.
frenzy of deleting things.
You could have. Somebody was going to a San Francisco Giants game. I think it was Limax.
I think it was Limax. That sounds right.
Well, that would make a lot of sense.
What else have we got here? We have Chris. So Geocache Talk says, Chris, that is a cool place on the island. Also, head up to the top from there. Oh, I guess he's talking about the spout.
Oh, probably.
Yes. Now, the whole center of this island is non-navigable. You can't get in there.
Okay.
You can fly over it.
Oh, come on. I've seen the way you geocache. You can go there.
Bring a towel.
Bushwhacking is required.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a park and grab. Bushwhacking is required. So, yeah, the whole center isn't. So it's kind of like a backward C as far as the road goes.
Okay.
We've gone all the way to the northwest edge, which is Ka'a Beach. Ka'a Beach, sorry. Great snorkeling. That we went to Tunnels today, which is just a little east of that. And then down to the southwest is the airport. And then west of that on the bottom edge of the island. We haven't done many travels. They're supposed to have what's called the Grand Canyon of the Pacific down that way, which is interesting. So I don't know if we'll see that since we've actually seen the Grand Canyon. My brother says it's okay. It's great if you're there, but don't make the trip for it.
There
So.
you go. Well, it certainly sounds like our friend Gary from Geocache Talk must have been to the island before, because he also says, rats, I hate it when things move around here. From the southwest, you can drive up to a high spot on the island.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. Going to the falls there was really nice. I mean, the drive was very nice. Some really small, skinny roads, and lots of one-lane bridges. Like for us to get to the northwest corner of the island here, we have to go over 6 one-lane bridges. There's one where it's a short bridge and then a long bridge, but it's all one lane. So you've got to look over through the incredibly dense vegetation and see if anybody's sitting over there waiting to come across.
Wow, so it sounds a lot like the road to Hana in Maui.
I'm sure it's very similar.
Cool, man. So we had a little bit more information from Wet Coaster. He said the night that they are going to the Symphony of Fire, it's being put on by the Disney Corporation as the representative for the USA. They will be watching it from a rooftop patio, the 25th floor of an office building in downtown Vancouver. Well, that sounds very fun. That is very cool. Bri Lang has provided a little more information on the missing duck, 7 Deadly Duck trackable. It says the missing cache was never published, and Jeremy Irish lost the coordinates to it. I hate it when that happens. All right. Gary says the Grand Canyon of that island is definitely worth it. So there you go.
There you go.
Back on the topic of trackables, we have from IHAM, the Chubby Hubby trackable was a full-size hubcap that wanted to be hidden in or at least near micros. Okay.
That's just cruel.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. Limax wants to know if there's an Earth cache at the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Of course there is.
Of course there is.
That's right. Gary from Geocache Talk also suggests that he can be cheap and buys disposable underwater cameras. So that's back to the beginning of the show when we were talking about taking photos of the turtles.
Yeah.
I find they don't take very good pictures. They have problems with the light quality underwater.
They're not bad. I've used them, I don't know how many years ago. But they worked out well then, so I assume they've only gotten better.
Oh, that's cool then. There you go. Wet Coaster wants to know if all the caches you are finding are Terrain 5 since you need a special equipment to get to the island.
I think so. Yeah, they should be.
No,
a lot. It's odd. There's like 1.5, 1.5s, and then there's like 3.5s, 4.5s. There's not much in between. I looked at one that it's don't take this trail when it's raining or has just rained. It took me 90 minutes to get up, 60 minutes to get down, and it's a 3.5 or 4.5 terrain cache.
And have a towel in your car.
Always have a towel in your car. Yeah, well now we have like hotel towels. Whenever they're dirty, we just hand them in and get new ones.
And a rental car.
And a rental car. It's really
even better. It just keeps getting better and better for you, buddy.
With that rental car, we can drive to that cache.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that here, but
I got that insurance. Just drive it.
Hey,
when I went snorkeling, it was in the car. Okay.
Nice. Starcacher takes us back to the beginning of the show, or earlier in the show, talking about the
bridge to Fantasy Island.
The Fantasy Island, that's what I was searching for there. He says it is in an upscale area of Sylvania, Ohio, in northwest Ohio.
Yes, I know Sylvania.
I do not, but I'll take your word for it.
Do they make light bulbs?
Well, Toledo is the glass capital, so sure.
I was going to say, is that the connection to the Sylvania light bulb thing? No? It could be.
My parents lived off of Holland Sylvania Road.
Oh, okay.
if you're somebody who goes all the way across the town, are you Transylvania?
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious about that. All right, what else have we got going on here? Limax has a question actually for Dora Moore, and the question is, I think this is with respect to the FTF boxcar racing. Are they cardboard or wooden boxes? I'm not sure if Dora Moore is still listening, but there you go. There's a good question. And while we wait to hear if there's a response to that, what else have we got here? Geocache Talk shares that this is the hidden trackable after show. It's not. It's not very well hidden, and I'm not sure how we would track it, but it is definitely the after show.
It's tracked by black helicopters.
Wet Coaster shares that losing the coordinates, like none of us have ever done that. Agreed. What else have we got? Wet Coaster and Brylang having a dialogue about the show. How can it be watched if we've stopped recording? And
well, we have stopped our manual local recordings.
There you go.
The automatic international YouTubes record forever and ever.
And that is Brylang's answer. So there you go.
Oh. And Doramore says the answer is yes.
Perfect. This is going to be really interesting. I have to say.
Show up in person and find out.
You're going to have to come on up tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Don't come up tomorrow. You come up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But stay for Saturday.
Yeah, I apologize. I really wanted to go to this game, but, well, you know, the commute's a killer right now.
I think people understand.
I don't.
What people don't understand is why you're on the podcast on your
there's
anniversary. But what else have we got? Oh, a little funny comment from Wet Coaster here. I guess original letterboxing used the Magellan Explorist.
That was probably the first GPS there.
The Magellan, Ferdinand.
Yes.
He was an explorist.
Yes.
He was. All right. Well, it's what time is it? Oh, it's you know what? It's time to wrap up the after show.
It really is.
It's 10 p.m. It's so time change, Bad Cop. You're ahead or behind?
I have no idea. I'm behind. It's 7
right.
p.m. for me.
Because there's still sunlight there. So yeah, but it's supposed to be setting.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, go enjoy the sunset with your lovely bride. Of course it is.
So we're not going to go out on the balcony because rain's hitting the window right next to the balcony. But
right.
you can see the magic hour glow on my face.
We can. The lighting is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I've worked hard on that.
All right. Well, we're going to kill the live broadcast. Thank you so much to all of our listeners and QA participants. It's been wonderful chatting with you all.
Good night, all. See you next week.
Aloha.
Aloha. It means hello and goodbye. In this case, goodbye.